Stop. We need to have a serious conversation. Yes, we do. You think I'm scared of you? You think I'm scared of you? You've been lied to. Yes, you've been lied to. But you already know that. You're a smart guy. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. No. You're probably a smarter guy than I am. But you've been lied to. And you're angry. You're seething. And I know why. Everyone knows why. There's a serious problem because you can't express yourself. You can't get vocal about things. No, that's a big no-no, isn't it? Yes, that's a very big no-no. That's become taboo in this world. That's become very taboo in this world. Why is that? You can't care about something? You can't care about things? You see a fucking guy get gunned down in the streets and you're just, I'm just gonna keep to myself about that one. You see a guy cut you off in the street, but you keep it to yourself. Now, to be fair, I'm a fair guy. I believe in giving people the fair shake on these things, you know? To a certain extent, you kind of have to keep these things to yourself, right? You can't be flying off the handle. You can't be flying off the handle every time your pants come undone. Otherwise, what kind of world would we be living in? We'd be living in desolate times. But guess what, Buster? Things are already pretty bad, aren't they? You know that. But you think to yourself, what if things get worse? Things are already bad! See if that works out for you, big guy, tough guy. But I need to be stoic, right? I need to judge not lest ye be judged, right? And I know what's going on because I understand these things. I've read a little bit, you know. I've been around the block a few times, right? There is a not insignificant cross section of the population that has come to the conclusion that there cannot exist discourses in this world that are not inherently exploitative, right? Somebody tells you that water is wet. Whoa, hang on there. I need to look into this for myself. I'm a smart individual. I'm a hardworking guy, right? I need to do some research on this. I need to explore this for myself. I can't just take your word for it. That would be crazy. That would be insane. No. We have to do what are they always saying? Educate yourself. You gotta do the research. You gotta read. You gotta look into these things. But let me tell you something. When you come to the conclusion that any notion of truth in this world is just an extension of some innate powerful urge to dominate people, to extract resources, to gain access to the sexual marketplace. Am I right, fellas? It leads you down a very dark path. You're staring into that abyss and you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing because and it's not because it's dark. It's not because it's dark. Oh no. That's primitive. But here's the problem. This is the problem. This is the real problem that you have to contend with, is that the light is blinding. The light is blinding. It's so bright that you get like cataracts in your eye or something. I'm not actually sure what that is. I'm talking out of my brain here. When you come to this conclusion that any kind of declarative statement is not without sinister intent, right? You must necessarily come to the conclusion.
Brain.
Oh, it's frustrating sometimes. You're sitting there in your slacks. You're sitting there in your shoes, and you just want to say something. You just want to say something, right? And then someone comes along and says, "Oh, why do you care so much, man? Why do you care so much? What about Buddha? You know, what about just you gotta just let it all be. You gotta just let it flow over you." And yet you're sitting there and your tongue is tied to your teeth. You want that? You want that in your life? You've been lied to by everybody because, and it's not their fault. They're just telling the same lies that they were told. That's the way it works. You only know what you know, and what you know is largely just what other people have told you. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to be able to do something in this world. But isn't that kind of the problem? You got to be able to do something in this world, and you have to be able to make some kind of value judgment in this world if you want to be able to do something. You got to do something. You can't just be sitting around in bed all day. You got flower petals all over your bed sheets because your mom walked in and she hasn't talked to you in 2 weeks, and she thought, oh, I guess he's dead. And who can blame her? Who can blame her for thinking that? And it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. And how could it not be? How could it not be? We were meant for more in this life than just lying flat on our back. Look, don't get me wrong here. There are things in this world that you can't control, right? Of course. Lots of things in this world that you can't control. The only thing, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know here. You're a smart guy. You've heard this all before, right? The only real thing in this world that you truly have control over is your own thoughts. But here's the thing. Your thoughts weren't meant to stay all cooped up inside your skull there. Is that what you want for your life? To be stuck in some cave and it's made out of bone? No, that sounds fucking awful. I wouldn't want to live there. I don't live there. I choose not to live there. Even though, and look, I get it. The candlelight is very, very nice. It's very pleasing to the eyes. Of course. And the shadows on the wall. Yes, they're very enticing, aren't they? They're very, very enticing. And you hear stories of people who have gone outside and look what happened to that guy. Look what happened to that guy. He's all busted and bruised up. And all the people around me, they're all making fun of him. I don't want to be that guy. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I understand these things. I understand these things a little bit. But the thing is, when you live your life in silence, you're going to go insane. Yes, you're going to lose your mind. And the same people that will say to you, it is not possible. No, it is not possible to declare something in earnest because you genuinely have good intentions. No, we can't do that. Those sane people are going to tell you through some kind of demythologizing exercise that at the same time, there is no discernible reality underneath all of this that we're able to get down to really figure out what's going on in this world. They're telling you that on one end, and then they turn right around and they say, oh, well, I guess all we can really do is we can just kind of talk to ourselves. Yep, that's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing but laughter. There's nothing but laughter because to say anything else, you can't. What are you going to do? Cry about it? Yeah, I suppose. That's what they're telling you to do, isn't it? You need to think very carefully. Yes, you need to think very carefully. And I would recommend, personally, this is just my opinion. All of this is just my opinion. I would recommend that you find someone in this world that you can trust. Yes. Listen, you're a smart guy. You've thought about these things. You thought about these things and you've run into some problems. I feel like something's wrong, and I don't know how to articulate myself. I don't know how to put it into words because no one ever taught me. No one ever taught me how to do these things. Yes. Yeah, I get it. And I feel for you. I've been in that spot. You think I haven't been there myself? But there's something very important that needs to be taken away from this. We have to be able to trust each other in this world. Because things are bad. Yeah, things are bad. You feel bad for a reason. You feel bad because the world around you is a big mess. Deep breaths. You gotta take deep breaths. Yes, the world is a big mess, and it's a mess because we're all trying to solve, it's like we're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, but one guy's looking straight at the thing, right? And then another guy's staring at the wall. Another guy's staring at the wall and he's telling you how to solve it, or he's not telling you anything, or he's saying, don't talk to me. You're trying to solve a puzzle over there. I'm trying to solve this puzzle right here. I can't quite figure it out. I'm analyzing the textures. I'm analyzing the textures and the colors. And it's very interesting. It's very, very fascinating. Maybe I'll write a book about it. Oh, jeez. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that being your life? Watching paint dry, but you don't realize that the paint already dried 5,000 years ago, and you're just watching it chip off the walls. Do you want that? Do you want that for your life? I don't want that for my life. Nope. I'm not gonna do that. God, people are so stupid. Imagine being that type of guy. If you were that type of guy who could just sit there and just watch the wall collapse in front of you, and I'm over here, I'm trying to hit my word quota, you know? I'm trying to write books over here, and you're standing next to me. There's brains all over the floor. How am I supposed to focus in an atmosphere like that? You gotta figure something out. You have a responsibility. And that the worse things get, see, this is where people get it backwards. This is where people get things wrong. This is where people get it backwards. People think, oh, things are so bad. I can't take on responsibility. Look at all these problems that I have in my life. And listen, I understand where you're coming from to the extent that you shouldn't be going out into the world trying to save the world. And you know what? That shouldn't be your goal in the first place. The world is going to be fine. What, you think we haven't been here before? You think this hasn't happened already? You think we're so special that we're immune to the problems of yesteryear? Oh no. If only you knew how bad things have been in the past. I'm sure you know that to a certain extent. Things have been pretty bad. Things have been pretty bad in the past. There was only one time in the entire history of the world where one man, it could even be said, saved the entire world. Yes. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the big JC. I'm talking about the most holy lamb. Yes. Unless you're that guy, and you're probably a good guy, you know. You got some character flaws. You know, you made some mistakes in your life, but you know, you're trying to figure it out. I know, that's why you're here. If you are feeling bad, if you are feeling trapped, you need to stand up. You need to say something. You need to do something. No one's life ever got better by feeling sorry for themselves by lamenting. Lamentations is a book in the Bible, friendo. We've already done it. It's already been written. I don't want to hear about it. Bunch of bullshit.
Brain.
Ragamuffins. Whew. Didn't I tell you? I got problems in my life? Oh yeah, that's good stuff. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. Just you wait. Ho, ho, ho. Just you wait. You think you've heard the last of me? You think you've heard the last of me? I will be back. I will rise like the phoenix. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know what's coming next. You don't even want to know what I got in store for you. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'll be back. You're gonna be lying in your bed. You're gonna be watching some guy playing Chrono Trigger, and you're gonna hear a knock on your door. You're gonna hear a knock on your door, and you're gonna answer. And at first you're gonna be happy because it's actually your DoorDash. Huh? Could you imagine? Could you imagine spending money on something like that? And you're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to your bedroom, and who's gonna be staring in your window? Who's gonna be staring right back at you, saying, "I told you so," because I did. I warned you. I gave you a warning. Yeah, I'll be back.